Welcome everybody to my shadow episode 12.
Yay!
Why we
Hey,
love Kyle. Cuppa, I'm throwing it to you.
Okay, let me do my little Kyle intro. Welcome to the My Shadow stream. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and donate. The preferred way of donating is vodka. So we're a crew of three. I think two of us are a little bit under the weather, but we're going to try to talk this week about what we love about Kyle. But 2 days ago, something happened that pissed me off so much. I thought we could open the show talking about, and that's, I think, the end of the Howard Stern show.
I
And
hope it's the end of the Howard Stern show.
we all three of us are lifers, long-term Stern fans. I know no one listens to Howard. I know he's old and boring, but to some of us left, this really, really upset us for a couple reasons. A lot of people, we've known the show's on the decline, but I'll make my case that this is the end of the show.
What do you think, Qwerty?
I've been saying that ever since Artie left. That this is going to be the last signing. I'm telling all my friends for 10 years now, over 10 years, that every time right before he signs, I'm like, this is going to be the last time. He's not going to sign ever again. So I don't know what to think, but needless to say, the show has definitely jumped the shark. And we've been saying this for years.
Yeah,
But
a few times it has, yeah.
I know Kyle and a lot of Kyle fans are Stern fans too. Quickly, I started listening in the fall of 1992 in college. I was actually 6 years old in college, so I wasn't that old. I'm not that old now.
Yeah.
Kidding, I wasn't six in college. But I've been listening a long time, and I know I haven't listened to every show during that time, but an awful lot. And I think the three of us are lifers. Caesar Q, when did you start listening to Howard Stern?
I was in high school, 91.
Wow, before
Yeah.
me?
Junior high. I was in junior high school.
Wow. I think that might be the longest.
I was in Boston at the time, and I think it was just syndicated up in 1992. But LA, that big market, you had it earlier than that, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, and he was fantastic back in the day. Irreverent and self-deprecating. This isn't the same guy anymore.
It was can't miss radio. You felt like you were part of a ragtag gang or something like that. I can't describe it. It's not like it is at all. It was like us against the world, and like rebel pirate radio in a boat, and we're all in the same boat, and it was really, really fast, especially for the time, and it was really energetic. And you wouldn't know. I couldn't imagine somebody under 35 or 30 listening to Howard Stern now. And it's like, what could you possibly have liked from back in the day? You have to trust in a way. He won't play tapes from them. And it's also, you had to be there at the moment. I don't know if it really holds up, but it's nothing like that before. And 2 days ago, he announced that he's going to be off for the entire summer. Wow, why is that such a big event? It's the longest amount of time he's ever taken off in his show history. I think by far. And it's on the heels. Kyle did an excellent react video today to this. It was really, really good. Talking about the Fox, I think it was Fox Business, their article about subscribers being so outraged at this. True. Well, long-term Stern fans have been outraged many different times. Why is this the time? It's because of last year with such misery being a fan. He just wailed on his fans for an entire year.
Yep, he was a prick.
It was now, Qwerty, I think you stopped listening a while ago. But Susie Q, did you listen last year off and on at all?
Yeah, I stopped listening around March of this year. Ended my subscription. I can't hear him anymore. He's depressed and he's complaining every day about the same thing. It's going nowhere. I can't.
Did you hear last year? I think it started with a lot of the election stuff, the election year. When he came back from Christmas, he was, in January, we were starting into the Trump election year. And then within 2 months, it got into COVID. And it was just oppressive to try to listen to. It was just miserable, sad sack, shut-in radio from a guy who was $650 million in the bank. And it was like, just like doubling down the pain that we were all going through.
Yeah.
Why is he doing this? And then you hear he's been rewarded with a 5-year contract. That makes no sense on either side for Howard or Sirius.
I agree. Yeah. I don't know why he has nothing. Is he trying to like like there's something? I mean, does somebody have dirt on him or something, or is he just behaving like somebody who's been severely blackmailed or something? I don't know what is.
Or somebody who's been tortured. And look, his always thing was, I'm a tortured man. But it was like, hey, I can't bang Carmen Electra. Not that I can't go outside. I mean, it's a big difference. Or like, I manage people that I don't even know that might or might not have been vaccinated. And this goes on for hours. And we've already forgotten about the nonstop Trump derangement syndrome every day. That was horrible. But the bottom line is he was just miserable and divisive. Then he gets a 5-year contract. He somehow makes it to this point and then drops on his fans that somehow kept him in his heart that for 2 months, I'm out. And he was contemptible. I heard the shows Monday and today. He was contemptible about even having to explain this. People pay for this. It's a big difference. Back in the early 90s, you were part of a gang, a cult or whatever, but you weren't even paying for it. But now he's asking people to pay for this, and I think they've had it.
I agree. I think even if you look at the forums on Facebook, even the lifelong people who have been defending him, saying, "Hey, if you don't like it, don't listen."
Yes.
Yeah, they're starting to come around to what you just said as well. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think everyone's, a month or two into this, people even care about Howard are going to say, well, when he comes back, he's going to be in studio. Get ready for that. No, he's not. He's never going back to his Sirius studio. And I don't know why people are clinging on to this. First of all his staff is moving away from New York City. So they won't be able to get or commute into the studio. And he's not going to go in to do these music artists is coming in or special event. He's just not going to do it. And he's not going to do it without his staff. People have moved thousands of miles away. Shuley and Gary's moving up to Maine. Ronnie went to Las Vegas. These are thousands of miles. And he's not going to go into the studio with his flunkies not going into the studio. So that means he's never going back. That means Jen Witz is going to have to sit there and watch a multi-million-dollar a year lease on Avenue of Americas for nothing. And it's going to end up in litigation. Like all of his contracts and exits filing it up. It's going to end up in a lawsuit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's like Howard always complains about management, but now, like this time, I think I have management side now. This is not what they signed up for. I know COVID happened and all this, but this is not what they signed up for. This is not what they paid for.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in his last contract because he bragged about it. They said in this new contract, I can work from home if there's a health risk. Well, Howard, in his mind, he's going to argue, hey, there's a variant in India. I can't go back. You said, look, health risk. I believe that's a health risk. Why not? I'll just keep doing the show from home. And they're going to go, no, that's not going to keep happening. What is going on? And that's going to end up in litigation. I know it. I'm sure of it. He wants to get fired and sit home and get paid for doing nothing. I know that's what he wants.
I think you might have a point. I think you might have a point.
I'm hopeful. I'm thinking they're going to come back.
How do you feel about that? I mean, clearly you're over it. And let's be clear, you're a diehard fan. You've met Artie in person.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm still subscribed to Sirius. I think they have something. They have a good product there, but if they're going to continue to be PC and not let the hosts, and it's just not just Howard. I mean, there's other people who are afraid to say things. If they're going to continue to do that, I'm going to cancel it. Like, well, why should I listen to censored garbage? I could go to the radio for that.
How long do you think the satellite technology will last in general? Once the country goes 5Gs and there's just coverage everywhere, why do we need satellites shooting down a signal?
Exactly. Or you can just people have internet in their cars now.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's the future? I guess they always thought about that and said if we have the unique talent, it doesn't matter how it's broadcast or whatever. We got to get this talent. We got to pay Howard Stern all this money. But they're moving away from that. They've got to be.
Yeah, I don't know what their strategy is. They're just going to keep signing Howard just for that. The last time, I think somebody asked one of the higher ups at Sirius, they said, why are you signing Howard with all this time off and lesser quality show? And they say, well, it's good for the stock price and publicity. That was their words, something like that. I'm paraphrasing. But they're not even looking at talent anymore. It's just like a pump and dump, or where do they? I don't understand what their strategy.
I think they used to look at it like this is what the average subscriber pays a month. This is how many they are. When you add it up, that adds up to 1.72 million a month or something like that, whatever the figures are. And they said, look, we're making money. Why not keep doing this? And my point is there's an opportunity cost to that. They don't just pay him his salary. They put a lot of marketing. They put a lot of bullshit into Howard Stern that they could be putting into another talent or talents. The guy's 67 years old. At the end of the contract, he'll be 72. Yeah. I mean, at what point do they cut the cord? And they screwed it up last year. And so did he. And this is going to end in a fireball.
I think so too. They're putting all their eggs in one basket, and that basket is falling apart.
I think he's taken a severe pay cut, and obviously the staff have too, but that's not what they project. They still project as Howard Stern is a significant thing in Sirius. They're putting they could be marketing something else.
Yeah, I don't understand why they don't do that. Why can't they can't find talent? I mean, you got Bubba the Love Sponge, who's still on terrestrial radio AM, by the way. I don't know why they don't just re-sign him. He was doing great on Sirius.
Yeah, Stern's good at getting in his stranglehold until he wants out, and this is going to be it because he's not going back to that studio. Forget the germ phobia and all that. It's just the fact that he's too lazy. He's not. After you've been sitting in your Hamptons basement doing 6 shows a month, why in the world would you get back in New York City and get up at 3:45?
Yeah. Plus, his driver is gone. His producers, Yeah, it's done, dude. I mean, I think this time, you might be right. I think this is the last go around. There's no way.
It's not going to make it. Can we all three agree? It's not making it 5 years. This is half of 1 year. This is half of 1 year, and they're already writing articles. People are throwing their radios out the window or whatever the metaphor is. This is not going 5 years, people. So it's got to end at one point. In my mind, it has symbolically ended now. That was basically my case. I don't care if he comes back and does the same crap show. In all intents and purposes, it's gone.
Yeah, the show for me was done after Artie left, and he never filled that chair. So this is nothing new to me. This is not even surprising to me. The only thing that's surprising to me is how Sirius keeps re-signing. Even if it was a lesser paycheck or whatever the hell. But why? Why don't you invest in new talent?
I don't really think they know what to do. And it's a $29 billion company. And their expenses and stuff are, I've looked at a little of their financials. Really what's eating them up is debt and interest payments and stuff like that. And people can't even realize how small Howard Stern is on the plate of things to Jen Witz. She's the operational director of Sirius. But the real shot callers, Howard is way down the line. They know that people are just subscribing for the name. They don't care what he does, and he doesn't care what he does on the radio during that time.
So you're not looking forward to Baba Booey doing something on 100 while they're on vacation?
Is that what he said he's going to fill up 2 months with? A special of Gaba Goobaba?
Anybody have any good points on the chat?
Right now, no.
Nothing.
No. They're asking me if we're real. Clear Floss says, hey, as does Ross Wilson.
Yeah.
That's it right now.
Okay.
I was so mad, and I can't understand why I keep letting this guy make me mad time after time. But he finds new creative ways. I listen to the Hate podcast, quite frankly, and Radio Gunk. I listen to those just to let it out. I mean, it's very aggravating to me. He really has been sort of, I wouldn't say part of my life, but consistent parallel to my life as I went along. And why end it this way? Why you have any choice to end it any way? Why this way?
Yeah, I don't know. He just want. I think he's always radio. You bring up Radio Gunk. They brought up a good point. Is that he's always wanted to be what we see now. This is what he's always wanted to be.
He's always wanted to be honest.
He's dark
always wanted
wretch
to
making unbelievable amounts of money.
Exactly. He's wanted to be super rich. Hamptons. O&A had it pegged exactly years ago. This is exactly who they said Howard wants to be. This was his end game right here.
But QWERTY, you've been listening for a long time. He was always like, okay, misanthrope, and like it was tough growing up being this ugly. But there was part of him that it was like still a little bit of rock and roll and a lot of optimism. What
He was
happened?
tough growing up because he was ugly.
Yeah. And so it drove him to like be a better man, to be a goblin. Yeah. And
That's
now
true.
he just wants to be a recluse goblin. It's a total flipping personality.
And I think
I don't understand. Like, why would he go out like this? QWERTY's right. This is some terrible way to fucking go out. It's embarrassing. Sad.
Yeah, he sold out. That's what he did. He sold out.
And look, I get it. Money's fantastic. I get it.
Yeah.
Who doesn't fucking want money? But this is terrible, especially with a guy that we thought,
This is when he has the most liberty, and he's the most insulated from anybody who could take him out, except for social justice warriors. But legally, he has the most freedom he's ever had, and he's turned it into the most PC worst thing he ever had. The worst thing he ever got was everything he wished for, the old saying.
Yeah. Let's get our pitchforks.
Yeah, he's no longer. I mean, he made himself. He had this whole crucified by the FCC deal.
Yeah.
He branded himself as a renegade. And at the end, the FCC and censorship won.
Who Are These Podcasts just did an episode on him, and they made the great point that I like the host, and he said, how does he have the nerve to play American Nightmare to open his show and then get into what that show is? It's just you got to change at least that.
Well, I'm not familiar with American Nightmare. What's that?
The Rob Zombie song he plays when he starts the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On Planet X or something like that.
Yes.
Planet.
Real quick, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Two Master said, let's put it on the table. Cuppa, which hate cast is better and why?
See, that's a good question. I like both of them. I think they fill different needs. I think that Monique knows a lot about New York City and the Jewish rich life, and she can give a lot of insight. And at the same time, because of that, she can't see the real practical world. And then I think, quite frankly, sees everything just through practical eyes. And I think that, quite frankly, is better produced, and Monique gets smashed and the laughing and all that. But I listen to, but they fill like different voids and what I need to hate the monster.
Yeah.
What about you, QWERTY? Do you listen to either one of those two shows?
Yeah, I listen to Radio Gunk, every now and then. I don't know who Quite Frankly is. Is he on YouTube?
Quite Frankly is a trio. They they were a spinoff of Radio Gunk. There was a little disagreement of what direction, how. So they went off and did their own thing, but they're both the same thing, like a Howard critique analysis show. And just sort of different styles and a little bit, just a little bit different.
And they're on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll give them a listen. Yeah, aside
I'll
from
send you a link, QWERTY.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely take a look at it. That sounds interesting. But aside from her cackling laugh, I think Radio Gunk does a good job. Like you said, I've always listened. I've had very little complaints about Radio Gunk. I think she always hits the nail on the head, and yeah, her critiques are pretty accurate. Most of it I agree with.
She has a very discerning eye, especially when she looks at his real estate or his. I don't know. She has a way of seeing things that sometimes I can't even say. So I appreciate both of them.
Yeah.
I've listened to both. I can't. I prefer not to listen to a lot of complaining, so that's why I stopped listening, quite frankly. And Radio Gunk, they're not consistent, and so they lost me because of that.
Oh, I will say that Monique really dropped the ball in that Caitlin Hatley interview. That was really disappointing in her.
That was boring as hell.
Should we get off the Goblin?
Nothing.
Should we wrap it up with the Goblin? Get on what we love about Kyle, and we smashed the Goblin, the witch, the freak, the shut-in.
Yeah,
I started getting anxiety from wanting to talk about how bad that Caitlin interview was. But yes, let's move on to why we love Kyle.
Okay. Yeah. And this, I'd like to, if I could open, please. Here's the thing. We were talking about how Howard just doesn't want to do the show. He doesn't want to show up. He doesn't want to produce. He doesn't want to go into the office. Here's my first note. What I love about Kyle. Kyle is the Cal Ripken Jr. of podcasters, streamers, whatever you call it. He's the Iron Man. When is the last time he took
Cal,
what?
Are you serious? Ripken? You're going to throw his name in with... All right, continue.
He's the Iron Man. It doesn't miss a game. When's the last time Kyle missed a stream? Christmas? New Year's? I don't think he misses a day.
He worked through COVID. You're right.
He worked through COVID sick. He worked many other days sick. But I think it might be at least a year. Does anybody have an idea when the last time Kyle didn't do a daily show was? Maybe somebody in the chat.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
He works on Christmas. He's there, man.
On birthdays, New Year.
On birthdays, right. He had COVID. He worked through COVID, like you said.
Let's be honest. He does kind of cut the show short, like we saw him do on Father's Day.
Okay, granted. But you know who doesn't make it to the show? Howard Stern.
Every day, and that it is nice to be able to count on Kyle being on.
He just played a show, Anthony Cumney, explaining he couldn't get to his own job because he was too drunk to walk across the street and do a show. Kyle has never done that, ever. Every time he shows up, you know, whether a couple pops in him or not. Never, certainly his own show.
He is the Navy SEALs of streamers. He's always there.
And look, sometimes he looks a little worse for wear, but he sits there and gives us entertainment. So that's my opening statement of why I love Kyle.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing that I really admire. This is if you want to pass it to me, or does somebody else want to?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I'd like to pass it to you.
Okay, one thing that I really admire about both Dez and Kyle is they don't give a damn what people think. They do not. They do not. That is something that I want to. I practice that, and I try to live that. But I think they are my inspiration in that respect.
Don't care. Shit just rolls off their back. You're right. Yeah.
There's nothing you can say. You can throw around insults, and she'll hit you back, of course. But in the end, it doesn't matter. Like they're still gonna do a stream the next day. They're still going to be together the next day.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like
I completely agree. And I had a point that is derivative of that. But Susie, would you like to do one of yours?
Yeah, I just wanted to point out that Kyle is fantastic because he has a soft spot for his audience.
I think he does.
What?
He has a soft spot for us. Like
he told us. All right. Okay. Well, when we
got banned. And when other people get banned, not necessarily by our captain, he goes in and he saves the day. That's fantastic. I like that.
I'm gonna piggyback
off. Be in a good mood, and you kind of got to get him on the right day.
You're absolutely right.
time of the stream to get him to unban people, but he will do it. And he's happy to do it too.
Yeah.
I'm going to piggyback off of both your points. And I'm going to say, just like you said, next day he'll go in, this and that. Here it is, right there. Kyle does not hold grudges. He doesn't. I don't. Sometimes he can't maybe remember because he encounters so many people. But he may not know that he banned you, and it'll work to fix the problem. But he really doesn't. Even with people from years before, they were in constant wars. Who knows whether it was an act or not. He has some preconceived ideas when you come back, but it's merit-based. If you prove yourself to him, he'll let you right back in. He doesn't hold grudges.
True.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Also, another thing is, I think he has some great. He does great insult comedy to me. I think he has some good lines that he just ad libs right there on the spot.
True. He does.
Also make some really intelligent points, actually. Make some really intelligent points about pop culture, like things that like I didn't think about that. That's pretty
You actually nailed one of my points. If I can go ahead, Susie. He is, and we have to admit this, because a lot of podcasters are absolute dorks or whatever. He's legit funny and hilarious in a shit talking war. He really is. Yeah. He has no chips to push to the middle, or less than other people. And I can't say he wins every single time, but I hear other podcasts and streams laughing about how he's zinging whoever it is. They appreciate he's good at it. I know it's repetitious, but the sad to me cornball, incel, stupid, you stink. Yeah. And when he coined that, it was like for 2 months. Fat Spix couch. I mean, that's winning right there. And he caused action. He's really goddamn funny in a shit talking war. He really is.
Yeah. Someone in chat, CB1 said SaiyanZ would be a good prop comic. Which I think is right. He held up the cat tonight.
He shut up the cat. It was Mr. Bigglesworth.
He did his Mr. Bigglesworth bit again. He did it before, and it was funny. It's funny again.
I completely missed that. Oh well.
I clipped it. I'll send it to you, Courtney.
Okay, yeah, I'll take a look at it.
It was quick. I think he said he refused to call the cat's name, so he calls it Cat.
Yeah.
And then he starts laughing when he does his routine. He enjoys Mr. Bigglesworth.
Also, another thing that I find entertaining is Kyle has a little bit of an identity crisis, in my opinion. I feel like he's three races, right? He's three different ethnicities, right?
Right.
One time he's black, another time he's white, and then the third one is Cape Verdean. So when he's watching AIU,
it's like a Michael Jackson song.
Yeah, he doesn't like when he's watching AIU. He's looking at it from like I guess a Cape Verdean point of view, because AIU is always bashy. And I think he finds that amusing that he's Cape Verdean and he's all, hey, look at these black guys.
He plays his chips well, the ones that he does have. It's sort of like convenience, which one he wants to use, but he works it seamlessly. You wouldn't even know he's working it.
Exactly.
No. Two Master is right. In chat, he said that Kyle was raised by whites. And
he
I
was.
agree with that. It seems like he's got very white-leaning ways. I kind of identify with that because
white-leaning ways.
Yeah,
white-leaning ways.
But you know what? I think that's why he appeals to such a wide audience. I mean, look at the three of us. You know what I mean? Yeah.
First name, last name said, if Obama had a son.
Yeah, exactly.
But to piggyback on that, you guys, Kyle's an American.
Yeah.
Right? Now, so everyone makes questionable choices. At some point I was for Ted Cruz or whatever. Anyway, but it's fantastic to hear Kyle sing that he's proud to be an American. The Trump song.
Yeah.
And he has a genuine smile on his face, which goes into my next point. You guys are hitting all my points. Kyle's the patriot. He's
Yeah,
a legit patriot. He
he
loves
is.
his country. He loves America. He appreciates what it is. And, joking or not, he served a full 4-year tour in the Navy during wartime aboard an
Yeah.
aircraft carrier. You couldn't screw off during that. That's a very serious job. And he took it seriously. He's a patriot.
Yeah.
He loves America and came through with America First. And I think he was very much inspired by that Trump speech to put up his Cape Verde flag because it has the colors, the American flag colors. But Kyle really does love America, and that's no joke. I have a cousin whose husband lives in Virginia Beach, and he's a mechanic on this big Navy warships, and it's a very serious job. It's a hard job to go off for a long period of time, and he did it. So that's another thing I love about Kyle.
Yeah.
Ooh, why don't you marry him?
But he didn't. Did he complete his tour? Unfortunately,
now that's kind of it's not sure about the details. I know he ended his time in 2005. I'll just say that, but it was about 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't recall what he said about being discharged or not, and so I don't remember.
Yeah, it's irrelevant, but he's often said that he can steer the boat. I'm not sure if that's true, but that's a very integral part of machinery, and you can't get let down. You can't work on a flight deck and be, your mind somewhere else. He did very serious work, and him and his crew. That aircraft carrier, you could ruin somebody's day with that boat. He was part of a badass crew for a while.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Pug for that that meme that he posts in Discord of Kyle as part of the
Oh yeah, those are great with the superimposed. Yeah, those are great.
it's just the eyes. It's you can see Kyle's eyes.
Yeah, those are great. The superimposed tile and Photoshop.
Or the goggles.
Yeah. Or the Obama. Yeah.
Still kind of sketchy about his story. He told us in the interview that they were supposed to port in Hawaii, but they dumped trash over the side of the carrier, and the guys punished them and said, "No, you're going to go straight to Japan." I can't believe that's the order of operations, how it goes.
Yeah. Couple, were you in the military? Ever?
No, I'm a military brat. I was 4 years in Germany, was in high school and all that. So, I know of the life, and my cousin was in the Navy. Her husband is a mechanic on the ship. My grandfather was in the Navy. Yeah, wow. And my father was a lieutenant colonel in the Army. If that helps.
Oh, so your grandpa's like after the Pearl Harbor deal, probably, huh?
Yeah, he was. He was on a naval ship. We all joked that it was in Canadian Lake. I don't even know where it was, but it was serious times back then. And Kyle signed up for. He kind of poo-poos what he signed up for. But if they put his ass on an aircraft carrier, they knew he could handle some responsibility.
Oh yeah.
Am I cutting it?
You cut out. What did you say?
I said, am I still cutting out?
No, go ahead.
Oh, if they gave him the responsibility to be on an aircraft carrier in war, headed towards war places, they felt that Kyle was very capable.
Oh yeah, they're not putting Beetlejuice on board,
Yeah, and you put him on some Coast Guard boat or something. You don't put him on an aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll list another one that I like about why we love Kyle. Per Des, their kids love their dad. Per Des, the kids love Kyle. They love him to pieces, probably as much as, obviously more than Chance, the part-time pitbull, and Midnight, the cat. Do you guys remember that? She said that.
I don't think I heard that, but yeah, he's a fun-loving guy, man. Likes video games and laughing.
Yeah.
Really, I'm not quite sure what I can add to that.
It's a positive. You wouldn't add anything. That's good. You know.
Yeah,
I
I
love
watch
playing
his
children.
I watch
That's
his
nice.
streams playing video games. Yeah, I mean, he's
Oh wait, you do? Because I
sometimes.
tried to watch, and I don't really hear him talking that much, and
No, he's
I don't
not.
really hear
No.
him shit talking that much. And I'm like, this looks like it goes on for hours. When's he going to start talking? What do you get? What do you get out of his streams?
Just I don't know. Just hearing the lisp. That's all.
Is he
Pretty much.
extraordinarily good at these games, like he claims? Is he really good at them?
Not from what I've seen. I don't watch all of them. I don't watch all of them. So, yeah.
Because he puts a lot of time into them, and he gets a lot of dubs, according to him.
Yeah.
But I can't tell who's good or not. I mean, everybody gets killed all the time, but I can't really tell what's going on. Whoa, you okay?
Sorry, yeah.
I dropped some utensils. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyone want to listen to them?
Yeah, I'm ready. This is an odd one. I don't know. Let's see how this flies. Kyle, believe it or not, considering his day. Are you already laughing at what I'm going to say? Kyle, believe it or not, he has a semi. I'm cracking her up.
Actually, sorry, couple.
Right, bring us into it. What's going on there?
I'm sorry. Two Master said, "Mad Dub stolen valor."
Mad Dub stolen valor.
Cracking me up. I'm sorry, couple. Go ahead.
Well, I guess so. What I like about Kyle, he, in spite of his really weird sort of day and stuff, he has a semi-regular sleep schedule. I mean, he's in a very ghoul goblin industry where who knows who's up, when, what, but nobody else goes to sleep at 10:30 or 11. He pretty much sticks to that. He may say he's going to stay up all night with us, regardless of the donations. But
are you saying he's lying?
No, I'm saying that he's a semi-regular sleep schedule.
Well, he has to be up at 7 a.m.
I don't know when he has to be up or his obligations. All I know is, and I think I've confirmed this with Des, is he hits the hay around the same time at night, which is much earlier than most of the podcast world.
And she revealed that it starts in the shower, and then, you get out and eat, and then go back to sleep after the shower. Right? No?
Oh.
Couple? Do you acknowledge this, couple?
Because I've asked us what happens after sometimes, and especially recently, he has been cutting out really quickly at night. Says he's not going to do it. Huh?
The abrupt endings?
The abrupt endings. I think you actually said something to him. He goes, I'm not going to do that anymore. And then the same night, if they've been abrupt, and I don't know if we're doing something wrong or whatever, but I'm glad he's there. All love. But it's just unexpected when he leaves. It's like, I just feel like he's kind of going, it's time to go to bed because I'm on a semi-regular sleep schedule.
Oh, that's cute. Or responsible.
Susie's making me laugh.
I'm sorry. So funny. I'm sorry. Courtney, did you want to add to that, or do you have another one?
That's all I had in my notes.
So I've done. All right, so Kyle is planning for the future, and I think that's fantastic. He revealed to us this week that he is sitting on a nest egg.
Oh, that's right.
Who did he say was right? He said someone was right about, I think he said it was Jimmernam, who I know nothing about. He said that he knew I was sitting on $100,000.
Well, I don't give a shit about Jimmernam, but I agree with your point about planning for the future. We did a whole episode on it, and it was laughable at the time, YewNeek, but I've been catching things of why he did this. He actually brought it up with Pod Awful. He said he was laughing over and over. Why would you get nailed 3 times and come back with the same name over and over? They're gonna get you. He was talking about himself. He was talking about it, the whole brand change. He is also talking before about them taking like ubiquitous names like SaiyanZ and stuff like that and hitting them. And he must have been watching the terms of services and stuff. He scours a lot of information and he's planning for the future. I can't agree with the name. I wish he would have picked any other name, but I can see what he's doing with the change.
What is he doing with the change?
He's trying to insulate himself from the ever-changing to like terms of service, what they're trying to get rid of at the time. You know, either whether it's hate channels, derivative channels, people stealing trademark stuff. He's very savvy at negotiating the line between clickbait and stealing. And it gets nailed a lot, but he's pretty smart because it's not easy.
Yeah, I agree. He's pretty good at that. He knows that. He seems to be like a scholar when it comes to YouTube.
He is.
He has a PhD in that, if they offered one.
Yeah, he seems almost every time to pretty much know the hand and be able to tell why Red Bar got nailed at the time. God, I hope that guy is dead. Please, this be true that he's saying.
Man,
I said the same thing. I don't wish that on anyone except
I just wish karma. That's all I wish. If it ends up with death for that motherfucker, so be it. It's his karma.
What makes you say that?
He stayed in your basement for 10 years pointing out pimples on people's faces and stuff. You don't think that's going to, drinking every day, getting smashed, you don't think that's going to come back to bite you?
Yeah, that's true. The drinking is, these guys do drink a lot.
They do.
Yeah.
Look at all his streams. He's got a bottle of cognac in front of him or this or that. And apparently these streams go on for 8 hours. Imagine how messed up he must be at the end of them. Well, anyway, this brilliant business plan is apparently going to end up in death.
Yeah.
Well, I know that there's more reasons why I enjoy watching Kyle. Oh, I've told him a few times that I really enjoy the show. One, because he's on consistently, and two, because it's fun to watch and engage in his chat. The people in his chat are fun.
Yeah, I think that's a good. His chat is fun to read. His interaction with the chat is also funny. He also likes talking to his people too.
Yep.
Yeah, but nobody calls in really, except for one person, 2 people here and there. But I even like when that one person calls in, and I like their conversations as well.
Yeah, he asks very good questions, and you get an insight into their, the way they, I guess, they each other, when they're not on or whatever. I agree.
Yeah, it's also fun. Like this doesn't happen a lot, but when YouTubers call in, when YouTube, that's also fun to listen to as well. Yeah, go ahead, Cuppa. Sorry.
I feel like he appreciates masculine things in a very faggot time. Sports and guns and non-PC. He actually does know about sports. I bet he can actually throw a spiral, which I'd be shocked if Pod Awful could. I mean, it's just an environment that's not really set for masculinity, no matter how much they talk about the Godfather, this, that. I bet you Kyle could explain the spread offense to you or the Patriots. Or, there's some masculine things I identify with in a very, I don't know, upside down world.
I agree. That too. Yeah, he's a good conversationalist. I'll tell you that for sure.
He is. No matter what anybody calls in and talks about, he will sort of interview them.
Yeah.
He interviewed somebody about, what was it, making beer? Or what was it? Some guy called in and said he did something for a living.
Doug called in. He works at a brewery or something.
Yeah, and he went in until Dez finally said, stop with the brewery questions. But he can talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another thing is, as we can...
Kyle stays up all night until 9 p.m.
Up all night is 9 p.m., right?
That's what he's going all night.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So, do we have anything else to add to tonight's show?
Well, I'd like to say that I think some people, for misguided reasons, have said that we don't love Kyle. We don't appreciate Kyle. We don't say enough nice things about him. And I can't say enough nice things about Kyle. It's tricky negotiating it, if you all have heard our interviews or whatever, but it's born out of love. Who would spend this much time watching this many hours? Unless there's, I don't know, really wrong with you. It's people that like the Christians that monitored Howard Stern back in the day. I don't know. But I can just say there's something very fun listening to Kyle. I'm starting to appreciate his daily react videos more. I really like this Howard Stern one. And I think Kyle does have talents.
I think, yeah, definitely. Yeah, or else we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, he resonates with the Stern and O&A.
Even with people that claim they hate him, the other people, they will stop and even if they're not talking about Kyle, they'll put on his accent or drop his, his terms, whatever, and they'll start making each other laugh. It's not because they hate him so much. There's something about Kyle that's very likable.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't even think he's much of a Howard Stern fan either. I think he's more O&A.
He's an O&A.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty cool that he could transcend that.
Yeah. I agree. That's true.
Yeah. He knows a little bit about Howard.
Yeah, he knows enough to know what a miserable failure that Howard's become and identify it and point it out.
I'm going to ask him about how much Stern he's listened to and how big of a fan he is. I have no idea. Oh, another thing, you guys, really, really quick. No. We'll do it for next time because it's not it's not along the vein of we love Kyle. We do.
And we're gonna try to add in some clips and be able to play clips of Kyle and comment on it. That's our goal. Anyone who's listening to this, thanks you for helping us roll this out, and we're gonna try to see if we can add that in.
Yeah. Yeah, we got some more things coming down the pipe, so stay tuned, everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Yeah. Take care now.